Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Good morning.
Good
It is
morning.
Wednesday, 16th March,
hmm
2022.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Welcome to FYI for your
Welcome.
information. I'm here alongside Dread Finance, alongside Sherry Duncan for folks that are
hmm
seeing us for the first time.
I'm here. I'm here. At the boat,
Sharon
having my
is here.
Milo tea.
He didn't have a sip of this tea,
Yeah.
is
As
it?
yet. As yet. As yet. As yet.
Nevertheless, guys, it is always a pleasure to be here with you to
Really
make
good to be
sure
here with you
that
guys.
you have credible information every single morning.
Yep.
So as we started off, I hope that you had a good day yesterday.
I hope so.
A lot happening
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single day.
3 days gone by since the week started. It's Wednesday.
My gosh.
It's Wednesday.
Well, we're already past that halfway mark for the month. So
Yeah.
pretty soon
Believe it or not.
we're gonna be
Believe it or not.
in April. It's gonna be April pretty soon.
Yeah. I hope you're working for the salary. You're playing half month.
Half month.
You gotta be working hard, get a salary. Honestly, the end of the month. Yep.
Well, there's a lot going on in and around in Guyana and around the world, and we definitely will be bringing that to you. But before we get into that, our usual morning, we have to give a shout out to the folks, our supporters.
Meditate, sorry.
Oh my God.
It's a shout out.
We have Chevon. Good morning to you, Chevon. Diane Fordyce is here also.
Everybody here.
Marine Chester Paul. Good morning
here too.
to you. Is it Ichai?
Same thing. Nice name. Nice name. Nice name.
So
good to have you.
Is saying it's raining in Jacksonville, Florida. So
wow.
We can come and check it out.
Yeah.
We can go check out this rain.
Rain is always enchanting to me. When not storm rain, but light rain is always enchanting.
So we have it's Renick Ram is joining us this morning.
Renick, welcome. Come true.
Queens, New York.
Rock and come in, Renick.
Paulette Hicks is joining us.
Paulette is here with us too. Good to see you, Paulette. How are you doing?
Well, folks, as you remember, as soon as you come onto the program, make sure that you share the live.
Some of you getting complacent, very complacent, right? We don't run on water here. We run on shares, likes, retweets, and also partnerships. Partner with us.
Most definitely. That is, we encourage you. We say that is your part, as your contribution towards the program. Persons that are not here, make sure that you share the program so that other persons will get an opportunity to view the information that is put out every single morning. So as we're here, we see Glenford Gordon is on with us. So let us know where you're joining from. I want us to touch some places that we've never touched before.
Like a song to me.
No, I don't think that's the song. Cheryl was singing this morning. So we see Mr. John Jones is joining us from New Jersey. So good morning to you. Ravi Kemrat is early this morning.
Good to see you. New Jersey's here.
Kenneth Dennis is joining us from London this morning.
Wow.
Good morning to you,
London's in the house. Say hi to Amanza for us.
Yes, most definitely.
Say hi to Amanza if you see her. They're in London.
We see Rhonda Ferguson. Good morning to you, Rhonda. How many persons are in?
Rhonda?
How many persons are in the house this morning joining from London? I'm very curious
London,
about
big audience there.
That's what I learned, actually.
It's a long time I get the invitation to visit London. It's a long time.
Well, see, Glenford is just making sure that we know Brooklyn is here this morning. Trinidad and Tobago is here this morning.
Tobago in the house?
Linden, your born town.
Linden, respect our manners, Linden, respect our manners.
So, New York, New Jersey is in the house this morning. So does
Newark is in the house. Good to see you guys.
Lennox Anderson. So good morning to you.
That's the airport area.
I'm
Newark.
telling you.
Yeah. Respect our manners.
Seattle Marine is joining us from Seattle this morning. So we have persons. Make sure that you continue to say West Side in the house. Where Rhonda Ferguson is joining us from the West Side. All the folks in the West Side. I need the live stream to be shared to persons like in Region 1. Region 2, I know a lot of persons join us from Region 2 in the morning, but I think we need to do some work with Region 1.
Guys,
so we know someone in Region 1.
I want to see Dorita. I've been blocked. Want to see Dorita. Folks, as you come on, welcome to our broadcast, number one. Those of you who are now joining us, and share, as you just said. Share.
I said,
share.
I shared this demonstrating.
Yep. And then you got to smash that emoji. Let's see what's happening out there. Let's see what is the emoji. How did you guys wake up this morning? Let us know. Click on that emoji. But you wake up feeling nice, give us that love emoji. Right?
So we see Altia Benjamin here, as I segue from what we shared right now. But I'm mentioning that because it's Ithaca in the house this
Ithaca's in
morning.
the house.
Correct.
Good to
So
see you, Ithaca. It's a long time we get an invitation from
okay,
Ithaca.
so there you have it. I see Marna Stobie is joining us from
Yep.
Port Kaituma. I just
Dolores
asked
Lynch
about
too.
Region 1, and so
One is
awesome.
in the house.
So
Yep,
Region
yep.
1 is in the house
You
this
got
morning.
your data and so on, turn up there.
So,
Dolores is here too from New Jersey.
great,
Yep.
great.
All around the world, folks. All around the world, you guys are joining us, and we're so happy that you pulled up a chair at the table. That you pulled up a chair. You guys are going to spend a couple of minutes with us today as we touch on some issues. But so happy to have you guys. What you having for breakfast? Y'all tell me them bushy things. Y'all know y'all.
So Siobhan is saying that from next week she's going to be joining us from New Jersey. So Siobhan out and about.
From Ithaca to Jersey, girl?
No, I think Siobhan wasn't Ithaca. I think she was. Let me not speculate.
Yes.
So, but Siobhan's going to be out and about.
Yep, New Jersey. Yep. Happy for you. Good to see all of you guys.
Montreal is in the house this morning.
Yeah, Joy Kosher. How is Montreal doing? Montreal. Yes. And then I saw Vashti Magnot earlier, who joins us from Waterloo, Canada. So take that, Montreal.
Talking about water, we have our Facebook user always come through from Niagara Falls, and he's in the house this morning also.
Always by Niagara Falls, bubbling in a boat, watching us there, watching us.
I think he probably works in the area, because
Chester Village, West Coast, maybe Samantha Nicholson. Samantha. Respect and manners at Chester Village. Yep.
Most definitely, and we have a lot of folks that's tuning in from Canada this morning. Oh, very nice to see. Veronica is joining us from Wakenham this morning.
Wow, nice. Hi, Veronica. How's Wakenham doing today? What's the temperature like there? What's the weather?
What's the weather like in Wakenham?
Yeah, Wakenham. You're talking about raining earlier. Wakenham, when it rains near, it's lovely.
Tiana Wallerson is joining us from
Tiana.
Kurukuru.
Oh, that's nice, Tiana. Nice. Say hello to everybody for us.
Well, Ganesh is making it known that he's in the house, and Ganesh is joining us from
in the house,
Region 3. Ganesh has been
come in the kitchen.
He owed us a visit right over here.
Yeah, we're in the kitchen, Ganesh. We're in the kitchen. Come in the kitchen. Ganesh, ready, boy.
Ottawa, Canada. Diamond is here with us. Pennsylvania is here with us. We have Pleasance here with us.
Penn is here. Nice. Penn is here.
So it's good thus far.
I remember this one time when I was visiting Penn,
When was this time?
Or is it time to come? I think I want to visit.
So Lola is joining us from
Lola, how are you doing? Lola Doll, how are you doing, girl?
Linden this morning.
Same Lola?
I see the United Kingdom is here this morning.
The UK, Your Majesty. Your Majesties out there. If you all see a man's somewhere going by, say hello for us. Please do.
Chicago is here.
Chicago.
In the house, Cummins
Lodge.
Hi.
Yep. Say hi to Barack Obama from Chicago to Cummins Lodge. Yes. All in one morning. Very nice.
And this is a reach that we need.
Yes, it's a reach.
We need to make sure that persons all over can be seeing us and make
That's
sure
why we say share. Reach and share the thing.
Also, I want to see persons joining us from Region 8, Region 9, and those communities
8 and 9.
Absolutely necessary for us to make sure that those persons are accessing credible information as well.
Yep.
So if you know someone, if you're on the stream and you know people that's in Region 9, Region 8, make sure that you send them the link so that they will be able
share as well.
So
when somebody neighbor looking over by you on Facebook, they could see the link and they could join in. Share. Some of y'all stingy, We got change for 2022.
Well,
maybe only 3 months in.
It's
still hope. New month resolution.
When it comes to data sharing, is a different conversation altogether, right?
Yes.
That's a crime by itself.
Yeah, but really good to see all these fantastic ones. Dylan Lane from New York City. How is it doing? How are you doing there, Dylan? Good to see you, Dylan.
So Beatrice is saying that it feels so good when I'm off of work for a few days.
So yes.
Beatrice is having a few days off.
Oh, nice. Well, you gotta take it easy, Beatrice. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle.
Great. So Nonpareil also is in the house.
Oh wow! I've always wanted to visit Nonpareil. It's such a lovely place over there.
It is lovely. And we see
Is it snowing right now?
Region 6, Sharon is always...
Region 6. How you all doing? Lots of things happening in Region 6. We're going to touch on this morning. Region 6, y'all and easy.
Thank you, Jillian. Jillian said she loves the shade of blue. Thank you, Jillian.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not very
I
much
picked this out this morning. I didn't know you would like it, but
You know, it looks
Thank
like
you.
we actually planned with this.
Thank
You know.
you.
I wasn't thinking about it. Now I'm looking
Yes.
on the
Julia,
screen.
when I went this morning, picked the shirt, I didn't know you would say you like it, but thank you, thank you. Of course, we did look good. Of course, we did look good. Or is the page at the back? Is that blue? Which blue, Jillian? Is which blue? Let me know. Let me know. Larry Crawford is here, and Francia Fraser as well. All you good people. Kim Dillon, we see you, Kim. Guys, what are you guys having for breakfast this morning?
You know, it's interesting because I want to throw out a question like, how do you start your morning? How do you guys start your morning? Yes, you're on at 8 o'clock with us, and you are joining the FYI program. But besides that, how do you start your morning when you get up? Because I know a lot of persons like to go take a run. Some people go jogging in the morning. Some people like to go to the gym early in the morning. You know, start it off like that.
Yeah,
So how do you start?
Yeah.
Because when it comes to fitness and wellness, you know that's a whole discussion all by itself. I know Sharon is big when it comes
It's good
to
to start
that.
the day on that positive note.
Yes.
The first thing I do in the morning, I wake up. That's
I think
That's
I
how
heard
it
it.
started.
I think Shensi said that.
I wake up. I'm quoting Chance. Yeah, I'm quoting big ones now. I'm quoting big ones. I wake up. That's one thing I do.
No. Well, I think I'll encourage everyone to like push for a healthier lifestyle. Make sure that you go to bed in a reasonable time so that you can have adequate sleep, so you can actually get up early in the morning to get your day to get your day started.
What's a reasonable time?
Really good, you
It's
know.
relative. What's a reasonable time?
We're supposed to have a minimum, I think it's 6 hours of sleep per night, and in order for us to function and be most
Now you're telling
efficient.
me. Now you're telling me this.
To be
Now.
most efficient, but the recommended time is 8 hours of sleep per night. But if you can't do that, you should get at least 6 hours.
Lola telling us she goes on a morning walk.
Nice.
Right?
This is what I want to hear.
Plainfield, New Jersey is in the house. Avril Small is listening to us from Plainfield, New Jersey. Glenn says, good morning. Glenn says, good morning. Yep. A morning walk is good.
Well, Cheryl likes to do running. I think Cheryl is a runner.
Gotta get in that little jogging, running, and so on.
How many miles was it that you did?
Couple.
How many miles did you do from Georgetown to
Linda, 65 miles. That's my longest trip.
Cheryl 65 ran miles. For 65 miles.
Yeah, and I'm looking to do Georgetown to Berbice.
Yeah.
120.
Wow.
100. Looking forward to that. Sometime soon. But I got little YouTuber.
So we're gonna have a camera crew on the road for this one.
That's on my bucket list. But you know what? I always say, if you don't like spending time with yourself, long runs will be for you.
Oh my
long
God.
runs and long walk when you just have your own thoughts to deal with.
Oh wow.
That can be a little thing, you know.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
You know, that long stretch with just you and nature. But I loved it, every bit of that Linden Highway. You know, listening to the trees and the animals. And
you were listening to the trees?
Yeah, they were talking to me. I was seeing shadows too. That being said, folks, you know, good to have Cherry Baskin, Greenwich. Cherry joins us from, I think, BVI. Or is it Barbados? I think it's BVI. But Orin Don Cook is here, says that she gets up and prays and then go on a long walk. That's a good way. She goes on a walk, not a long walk necessarily. But that's a good way to start it. You start with devotion. I grew up with that. You start with devotion.
I recommend that. I have to
You talk to the Father.
I recommend all that aspect, especially when it comes to your physical and your spiritual health. Make sure that you touch in with all of that. Have some bit of balance.
Correct.
I definitely have to start back on some run in the morning, but I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna use a treadmill and just run at home.
See that?
It's a little more. Listen.
Cheating.
It's not cheating. Listen, with all the robberies all over,
you're true then.
I don't really want to.
Right, you're true then. Right? Look, is it Gazinet Nicholson minding our business? You want to know how much rest time and all that? We can talk about it, right? The guys aren't helping us to scroll past this. Once somebody's telling us they do about 25 to 30 minutes of exercise. There is prayer. I like that. You got to start the day in that very healthy way.
Yeah.
Right? Prayer, devotion, however you recognize the Supreme Being. But do that, and then you do some exercise, then some breakfast maybe, right? And then you go out from there.
I think my breakfast is way too late.
Siobhan says that first thing in the morning, guys, could you move the thing off of that? Yeah. First thing in the morning, everyone should do is to give God thanks. Yes, that's a good thing. A few gospel songs, and your day will be great. Yep. Gospel or whatever religious song, some bhajans or some what's the other ones? Some religious songs, and you good to
Yeah,
go.
everyone have their
Start
own
the day on
taste
the
with
high
that.
note, so I got to deal with people like Jarita. You're well equipped.
I'm a very nice
Well
person
equipped.
to deal with.
On,
Listen,
on camera.
listen, I'm a very nice person
What's
to
the
deal
camera
with.
rolling?
So on a segue from that is that my boyfriend was looking at the program. We were talking about sometimes women are emotional when they're pregnant. He messaged me whilst we were speaking. You're emotional all
I
the
just heard
time.
something creeped in the conversation here, and the guys behind the camera kind of looked out like, boyfriend now?
He said,
They've heard this before.
he said, I'm emotional all the time.
Emotional all the time. Right. Full marks, boyfriend. Full marks, mister. Full marks.
Oh my goodness.
Whoever you are, John Doe, whoever you are, full marks. Emotional all the time.
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
I have strong opinions at all times. That's how I look at it. But we have.
You know what I realized looking back at some of our programs, how awkward I hold the cup. I don't hold it in a very sophisticated way. It look a little ugly. But that being said,
Most important comment I see Littell Prek is actually saying cannot forget to make way for FYI regardless of everything else. So that's a morning plan. That's a good plan.
Yeah. I find that.
We endorse that.
Yeah,
plan.
we in the plan. Plan with us in mind, folks. And we're so happy that so many of you guys are here. Is it Ngwasi Griffith? I don't know how to pronounce this name. I don't even want to do it wrong. But send me a voice note, 627-6963. Joylyn Cook says, I start my day with prayers. I give thanks to the Father. Yep. Nobody gives thanks to the Mother. It's the Father all the time. The Father all the time.
Well, we encourage persons to continue doing that. Make sure that you put incorporate fitness. It's never too old to start fitness. You're never at such a bad state in your fitness that you can't start. Whatever state you're at, you can
Dave
start.
over here.
So make sure
Dave at the back, over here. Never too old. Good to see you. All you guys who are tuned in, guys. Hundreds of you are watching us from around the world. It would be so great if you guys just share that program. It would be so awesome. That'd be a good way to start the day, the high note of share. The high note of share. But good to have you guys here. Yep. What's making the morning papers?
Well, I'm looking at the morning papers that we're looking at right now. It said GCOM registration clerk fired after being identified as PPPC election agent.
No, I was trying to sneak one in, eh?
It's one.
No, I was trying to sneak in one and
folks, the electoral system altogether. This is not an isolated case. We had multiple times in which even leading up to the 2020 election, where several of these were identified. Now here you have it again. GCOM registration clerk had to be fired because this person was identified as being a PPP election. And so again, I ask persons to make sure that you are out there, you're very observant. If you are seeing any such, report it. Let persons know.
Report them.
It has to be done.
Report them. Because how does one step through the cracks? Like, how do you not know? I have been an agent for the PPP and working at the GCOM, you have to be independent. How does that slip through the cracks? Like, how does that happen? Something we'll appreciate. And the backstory to this is it was picked up by the APNU AFC folks who were visiting GCOM at the time.
Well, that is the only way in which these things
Operation Eagle Eye.
Yep. These are the only way in which these things are picked up. You're talking about the GCOM registration clerk. Folks, that we've been talking about registration. We've been encouraging persons to go in and get registered and so on and so forth. And you don't want to have someone there that is going to make things extremely difficult or give false information and cause some persons not to be able to register. And these are the complications that you get when you have a party PP election agent actually working as a registration clerk. And you see somebody come and say, I think these people don't vote for the PPP. So, no, this document isn't right. You got to go, you got to come back, kind of frustrate the process.
You never get registered.
And then you never get registered altogether. So, kudos to...
That sounds like the GRO's office too.
Kudos to the AP and UAFC representative that identified this and had that matter dealt with.
Them boys were trying to sneak one in. That's the truth of the matter.
They were trying.
Ali John and Glenn and so on?
I believe that they have sneaked in a few. So it's our duty now to make sure that we
Yeah.
get rid of those
Yeah, they
persons.
got some
Wash
sleepers
them
in there.
out.
They got some sleepers in there. We
Yep.
gotta watch that. Watch
Wash
the
them out.
sleepers. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So on another note, as we're discussing in GCOM, it says here, this is my part because I've had a lot to say regarding this particular matter. It says that GCOM withdraws evidence of vaccination requirement for registration. And guys, you remember yesterday when we were speaking about the fact that you have this new gazetted order that has been signed that says that basically that everything is relaxed. I was waiting, and I said yesterday, I'm waiting to see what GCOM have to say about the requirement for the proof of vaccination for persons to go there to deal with registration. And there you have it. GCOM withdraws that. So
Yes,
good for them, because I
Yes,
would
they
not have
have.
been done with that.
Chokin
That's
came. Yes,
that's
they have.
personal to me. You can't be doing that level of nonsense. I almost said you did not just do that.
Makes the tea taste so much better when you slurp it.
Africa,
I try to do
Charles.
everything that showed you the
Africa, Charles, you are so correct.
Yes.
Africa said dress is just a pleasant and blessed child. I feel our positive
That's your fake profile.
energy.
That's your fake profile. It's not your fake profile this morning, Twitter. You know she. You watching she from Afghanistan. We think Putin pleasant too. We think Putin is a lovely man. Lovely, lovely man. Cecile, good to see you, Cecile.
You know that song. That song that we hold so dear to our heart.
Which one?
We are peaceful people.
Oh, I thought it was yeah.
They said, but when outside.
Temptation Overdrive. That's what I was thinking about.
From foreign places, talk. I'm always peaceful. I'm a very peaceful, pleasant person, but I do not take
struggling with struggle.
I do not take bullying.
You don't look for trouble, just ask around.
so this nice pleasant face do not take bullying at no point in time.
So
ever.
we're not gonna allow GCOM to bully us. And we're happy that these guys picked up that particular sleeper.
But on that note, again, I say get out there, get registered.
Yes.
Go out there and
get registered.
You don't wait to say that you know that the coalition's position is that you
hold on. Warren in Washington now?
Wow.
Warren gets around. Warren gets around. Yesterday, where was Warren? Warren, one of our favorite viewers. He was locally the other day. Then yesterday he was in, was it Jersey?
I thought so.
I think it was Jersey. Now he's in Washington. You all got your wrong there, man. Naomi says, a slurping my Milo tea. Respect and manners. Naomi is the person who said she and her husband has get problems with whether Milo is tea or tea is Milo. What is the difference? Right? But that being said, so on your comments, we see you there as well. And Merle Joseph, all are fantastic folk. Somebody's watching us from Manhattan, guys. If you can just scroll that up for us. The first comment from the top. Let's go one up. Just scroll.
Matthew
Dennison is watching us from Washington, D.C. Well, folks, Matthew, if you run into any of the folks from Congress there, please let them know we send our love. Nancy Pelosi or Harry Reid or one of them guys, you want any one of them? Please say hello for us.
Oh my gosh, Nancy's a whole discussion by herself. Atlanta, Georgia's in the house this morning.
Yes.
Also, so
beautiful Atlanta.
To all the folks there. Guys, do not be distracted by Sherrod slurping his tea. Again, I'll go back to my point that I was making. I will keep reinforcing it. That yes, the coalition and the opposition have a position that we need the host registration. However, I am saying to you, and I do not take this lightly, to make sure everyone get out there and get registered.
Get registered, folks.
I am not kidding with this. This is a process that we cannot play around with. We're going to be doing our part.
Please do.
Make sure that you do your part.
Please do.
If you are in New York, you're in the UK, you're in Canada, wherever you are, you have relatives here, you yourselves, persons that will be back home, to make sure that process is in order, make sure that process is completed. A lot of times, a lot of work is done, but when it comes to the mechanism to deal with the electoral system altogether, the key thing is to make sure that everyone that is eligible is registered and ready to vote. Right?
And you know what? It's not. It's voting, which is tremendously important. Number one, because we see this so many times. when you get into the election cycle and people really understand what is at stake, then they say, you know what, I want to vote. Then when you say you have your ID card, you say no. So how come you get your ID card?
Yeah.
You miss this very important period. But you know, in your life, it's important that you have certain basic documents that
Correct.
helps to facilitate you from one point to the next, business transactions and so forth. And being registered and getting your ID card. Your ID card is one of those documents, not only for voting, but as a general document, you should have, like a passport too. Like you don't only got to wait till you're going overseas or you hear somebody putting in for you or something like that to try to get a passport. You know, get a passport, get a ID card, right? And a birth certificate, maybe. She gave me a straight
You know
look.
why? Because I recall a conversation that we had only yesterday with regards to the fact that someone actually had an ID card and went to vote that did not have a birth certificate and that birth was never registered. And that matter was a matter that was brought to folks' attention. So you know what is going on.
Another sleeper.
Exactly. So we need to do our part to make sure, and you need to do your part whilst we're doing what we're doing, because I'm telling you, the seriousness of this process, I don't think we have been dealing with it enough. I think we need to have more persons speaking out about it, and it has to be widespread education to the people, because do not take it lightly. Do not believe that you can come at the last minute and get this done. The process is open. Get out there, get it done, get it out of the way. Make sure that you are in order. I beg of you.
Yep. So those are some of the issues in the papers. I'm seeing one that says also that all boys young fella has gotten 4 years for weed in suitcase. I mean, this guy from when the photographs we saw wasn't even making an effort to conceal it. It's like he felt you could have just gone through.
This is what
Customs
happens
with-
when the newspaper announces that the president have plans to meet
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
marijuana farmers.
People think it's legal.
People think it's legal.
Fellas, we gone
Set
clear.
up.
We can export now. Clear with that
Drunk and mighty.
amount of weed he had got to have an export market for it. Because he was exporting a whole
Well,
suitcase.
according to Air Finale, he has a technical expertise.
Yes, he already has it. Them guys already have it, right? That being said, folks, I know the guys are ready for us. Yep. Ready to go. We are on to the morning trend now. Some of the things that are really making the headlines today. The morning trend, guys, and the first of which, Ukraine and Russia.
Goodness.
We can't escape what's happening there, we cannot. Good to see Audrey Ward is here, and also Audrey Adams, rather, and advising folks like we're doing here to get registered and get a passport. Audrey, hold on. Audrey, we here talking about registering for vote. You got the passport and be told. See what get registered, get your passport. Right? All right. Fair enough. Do you gotta do, people, but just
Guys,
get registered.
when we talk about the registration,
Just get
we're
registered.
speaking specifically to the ID card to make sure that you are on that list.
Yes,
so that
the
you'll
list.
Be able to vote.
Yeah.
Let your voice be heard in that way.
Years ago, I don't know if we have that song now, but they used to say a song about lists, right? They would say, Charita name on the list, Sherrod name on the. That's a whole nice song, but you're so young. These young ones, I just lose you there and I can see your eyes. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
I've never heard.
Y'all know that song? Yeah, that's the list song. Get your name on the list.
So I'll do a check.
Right?
I'll probably have to run through our comments of person that says they're joining from here and do a check of the list and to see if they're registered, because I want persons to understand how serious we are about this particular exercise. Everyone needs to be there.
But I want to point out that Moral Joseph is saying that the man with the wheel, he was dumb. Right? He was dumb. That's what Moral is saying. He dumb. And Maxine Cameron is joining us from Massachusetts.
Moral know this business.
Right? Moral, show you how to do it. Moral. But Massachusetts is in the house as well. I wanted to make sure we pointed in. And then it says that Amanda again is MIA. Well, Sandra, you know her. You can't hold this girl down. She's busy. Can't hold her down. Good to see Desmond Adams and all the other folks joining us. Really good to have you guys. And spread the love, folks. Spread the love. Share the live stream. Share. and smash.
As we go on to the
Yeah.
morning trend, we're looking at what is going on on the international front.
Yeah.
Like Shed is rightly saying, we're looking at the situation in Ukraine, and as we're picking it up right there, I believe out of BBC, is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says peace talks with Russia are beginning to sound more realistic. So, guys, there you have it. It says in his last Facebook video address.
That took a while.
In his last video address, he said victory over Ukraine will require the work of all Ukrainian citizens, including the negotiating team currently holding ongoing talks via Zoom. So that is what is happening there. And it's also said the talks are due to continue on Wednesday, which is today. So we're looking forward to be reporting on how this goes forward. But one of the things that I think we could also mention is that, as was reported earlier on BBC and on NC, and also Zelensky on Tuesday, yesterday, appeared to concede Ukraine would not join NATO. And you know, this is one of the major issues that that Putin has been highlighting, that his contention was that Ukraine was in talks to join NATO. And that was not something, because he would have been completely surrounded. I
But
guess when it comes to that.
why is he so worried about Ukraine joining NATO?
No, that's a big thing. I have to say it.
What business? It's like Venezuela saying you can't become a member of the UN because I's your neighbor. It's kind of weird.
It's big. It's huge. That particular issue is.
I wonder
really,
why.
It's
Why
really
it bothers
huge.
him so much.
Well, when you are in
Wonder.
talks about nuclear weapons and so forth, those
Mhm.
would be very, very.
If you're going to hide and to be scared about, why are you worried about that? If you're big and powerful, you know.
But on that note, as we're
Yeah.
looking at the situation between Russia and Ukraine, it said Russia issues sanction against Biden and a whole long list of officials and political figures of the U.S. So Russia has decided that not only the U.S. is going to sanction, but they're going to sanction back as well. So the U.S. I saw that some photos circulating is that no one is taking that as any bit of
I'm trying to figure
seriousness.
out how they're going to sanction Biden. I'm trying to see how that works out, how that would work out.
But more interesting because guys, I want you to recall that when we started the conversation between the war between Russia and Ukraine, I said one of the biggest war being fought at the time is a war between the US and Russia. And I said that is the economical war, because the sanctions was geared at crippling Russia's economy altogether, and that is a more devastating war in terms of the loss in terms of finances and all of those setbacks for an entire nation. And one of the things that we're picking up also is that 300,000 volunteer hackers joined the IT fight against Russia. So we have 300,000 hackers have volunteered to actually join the IT fight against Russia. But what is even more crazy than this is that they are still not enough to fight the Russia team of the hackers over there.
It's hackers versus hackers.
So when you're thinking about this
Cyber
fight,
warfare.
exactly. When we're thinking about war in 2022, is not what war was prior.
Yeah.
War
Yeah.
in 2022, you're talking about sanctions. You're talking about cyber warfare altogether. This is a new.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a new age war.
You know, our 3,000 hackers better take note.
300,000.
And better get our 300,000 hackers.
Or 3 hackers.
Our 3 hackers.
So-
Take note. My God, I send you guys to the forefront just now.
Oh my goodness! It's
My God, I
crazy.
send you guys to the forefront. Some of them were trying with our program last night. We had some troubles last night.
Well, we do have our own bit of issues like that, but thankfully we don't have 3,000 to do, not even 300. So thankfully for that. But on the international front, still we're seeing in China, 37 million people are in a COVID lockdown. 37 million people in a COVID lockdown. You know,
Wow.
China does things their own way.
Wow. While we opening up in the midst of COVID, people are locking down.
Yep,
First
yep,
world
yep.
countries.
Yep.
What if they know something we don't know? I wonder if
See,
they know something we don't know.
China's out there and they're protecting their people, and like they said that China
Yeah.
have so many. So
Yeah.
if China could actually have a lockdown with 37 million, we could not even lock down a couple thousand. We could not even lock down a couple thousand persons altogether.
Yep. You know, we gotta do
But
what we gotta do.
as we continue on
Gotta do what we gotta do.
as we continue with that discussion, it says the world economy faces a supply hit as China battles the COVID-19 virus. So yes, China is locking down 37 million people, but then what is the repercussions? And we often say that when we're discussing these matters on FYI, is because the implications are throughout the world. The implication, the ripple effect of the actions of economies like China and Russia and all of those others, the US and so on and so forth, they are far reaching, and the ripple effect is felt by you, the people. Your pocket feels it. So now it's saying that you have the world economy that faces this supply hit because, as you know, as everyone knows, that there's nowhere that you go when you can pick up something and it doesn't mark made in China, right?
Yep. Labor costs.
Not only
Labor costs good.
even to things that are branded with other countries, a lot of times even the assembly line is just being done somewhere else, but all the parts are being manufactured in China, different parts of China and so on and so forth. So the integration of the world, this is what it is. Whenever something happens at one place, especially countries that have a large supply chains and so on and so forth, we feel the effect everywhere. So when China is locking down, we should take note, and we should take note to the ripple effect that comes after that.
Yep, and you know what's happening too? You know, talking about COVID and how China is dealing with it. We got some challenges here with school reopening as well.
Yep.
Folks, the guys are telling us we got to share. They're advising us to advise you to share the live stream and smash that emoji button as well, folks. Smash that button as well. We're talking about what's happening in China at home with school.
Yeah.
Schools now opening back up now that government has put a halt to the COVID-19 policies, the guidelines, and so forth. There are some challenges that are envisaged there. I saw, I think, on HD, they said government scraps, government dunks or something like that, the COVID policies, which says to me, they weren't so good at all.
You know,
Dumps. That was the word they used.
I think one of the things that we need to recall is that none other than Bart Jagdeo had said, some people will die.
Yeah, it's the wrong set of people. That's why I always say.
That's what.
It's not just some. It's the wrong set.
Wrong set of people die.
Wrong
We
set.
have lost so many great persons to COVID-19 in Guyana.
We have.
There is no one in this country that does not have someone that they knew personally, family or friend personally to them that died of COVID-19. That is the sad truth of the matter altogether. And with the reopening of schools, we saw this coming. It has been creeping up for a very long time. But you're saying now that Frank Anthony is basically advising parents of children with underlying conditions to check with doctors. But the issue that is there, and I dare say, is that yes, all of these advice are coming through and coming forward and so on and so forth. Advice was given also that parents had a choice whether or not they sent out their children to when school was open in those phases. But or they can keep their children at home. However, those advice are being given without a single policy measure to accompany it that actually gears at taking care of the children that are not going out for whatever reason. These parents that have children with online conditions, what alternative is there for their education? There is none. That is
or
is
that you're just ticking a box,
right? So it's like you're going out and say something, but if you don't have a policy to accompany what you're saying, then basically this is just a headline in a newspaper and it stops there.
But the other challenge is COVID didn't start yesterday. We had a long time to figure out children who got underlying conditions. If we were doing research, if we were doing the groundwork where education is concerned. But interesting to see, we are yet unprepared even now for the going back to school.
Yes.
You had to stay home, you had challenges. You're going back to school, you got challenges still. Clearly, somebody not doing what it's supposed to be doing there in the education sector. Clearly.
Well, that's what's happening when you change and you move and you bring back people.
Right, but then the policy is so haphazard, you don't know. In some instances, don't wear a mask, you don't have to. But it'd be good if you wear a mask, then what are you saying to us? Is COVID on the decrease, COVID finished, or we still got it? We opening back up. You don't need to present your COVID vaccination card, but then you still want something, and you still want. So what is it? Where are we, and why are we where we are? What is the science telling us on where we are with COVID locally? That is the missing pieces of the discussion. But folks, we'd love to see some of your comments, whether you guys think that we are ready for the kind of reopening that we have. Because I think I saw one of the letter writers just this morning, I think in Starbucks News, was asking the question, are we doing too much too soon?
Well,
That's one of the questions that we may ask.
if we're to track where this all started, it started in China. So when you see China on lockdown again, 37 million people on lockdown again in China, an entire community there locked down, it begs the questions of what is China experiencing there, and how long is it? It was a matter of days before it was spread throughout the world. So how long does it take before whatever is bothering them there is back here again? We're not looking at it through strategic methods. We've been saying from the day one that it is being handled completely haphazardly, and as such, we encourage persons to use your own guidance and make sure that you do your own research and determine whether or not it is time for you to put down a mask. Because I'll be still wearing my mask around.
Yeah, and clearly, you have to err on the side of caution. We're going to skip through some of these things rapid fire. Err on the side of caution, as Ruthie says. Err on the side of caution. Correct. I'm going to be wearing my mask still. I can tell you that.
Most
for a little while.
definitely.
My mask, I can wear it. Many masks. For a little while.
But I want to go back to a little bit of the ganja conversation that we were on a little bit earlier. And the headline here says that 2.5 million fine of 4 years jail for prisoner caught with 6.6 pounds of ganja.
Oh wow. 6.6 what? $million worth?
2.5 million.
2.5. Yep. But over 6 pounds.
Prisoner.
Yep. So how do you get 6 pounds of ganja into the jail? That's the question. I think we focus on the wrong person, because this guy was already serving a life term.
My God.
He had 6 years added to his life sentence. And then, but how he got that in?
4
because
years.
if he's in jail, how does a man on life sentence in jail get 6 pounds?
So I'm
he grown in the cell with you?
Well, I want to know if this is a situation that you reported before in which he was given, go home, plan to wait and bring it back.
People, yeah. You can pay now, if you want to. A life sentence, you already up. We can fix you up. Right? If you get the right amount of money, you can go home and come back.
Well, this is 2.5 million worth of money.
It's like if you're going to work and come in home every day. Life sentence, yeah. This is your life home here.
I find it a little. I find it quite funny, that entire situation altogether. Because what was most hilarious to me is this is someone that's serving a life sentence. You add 4 years to life, so probably
yeah. I got time. I got time in my heart. I got time. 6 pounds marijuana. Interesting. And following that, folks, we're looking at what's happening in this concerning this fatal accident. I think we spoke about that early on. This fatal accident, and this was in Region 6. They say the police are going to release some additional details shortly, and we're going to watch to see what that says, what's the outcome of that, and keep you guys updated on that front.
Most definitely, we will be looking at that. I see here that the report actually said the driver was escorted to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, while the occupant was escorted to the Port Moran Public Hospital, where they were both pronounced dead on arrival by the doctor on duty. So there you have it, 2 young persons losing their life. I tell you once again, accidents on the roadway, we beg of you to make sure that you go out there and you be careful, because we do not want to be reporting you next week or tomorrow. This is something that is a pandemic all by itself.
Correct is right. We gotta watch that. But in other news as well, we're looking to see what's happening with the upcoming Linden Chong Week. My born Chong. It's slated to begin April 23rd.
Well, most definitely. I think we probably got to take the show on the road.
Perhaps.
For Linden Chong
Sounds
Week.
like a plan to me. And guys, if you're visiting home, if you're home and you're looking for some activities, recommend this. Again, within the caution of the COVID guidelines, guys. But go out and have some fun there. Linden Chong Week. I know I can go for a day, so I might go for the whole week and party.
Well, Lennon has its tongue week, and I know Bartka usually have regatta. So I see
Mm-hmm.
with all that's happening right now,
Oh,
I'm
you won't even
wondering.
let Linden Tongue Week be great.
I'm not
You
even
won't even
letting.
let Will Linden Tongue Week
I'm
be
not
great.
even
You
gonna
gotta
allow it.
stick in with Bartica.
I
Let them be
have
great,
to
man.
stick in Bartica
Let Linden be
and
great by itself,
and the
man.
regatta. However, Linden
Linden's the
is
best
great.
tongue, best tongue.
Bartica is the best song
Bartica has its
in
redeeming features, nonetheless.
Bartica is the best song in this country altogether overall. I mean, we can go do a matrix and we can take off some things.
Folks, I want to remind you of something.
So,
I want to remind you of something. All right? People just say they are very good nature, they're loving it. Here's the story. Right? I talking with Linda on the tongue week. Bartica is nowhere here in this lineup. Bartica takes over. Right? Bartica takes over. Right? All right.
I was heading to this fact that Londoners by nature
Come from
all
Bartica.
no. Londoners always support the regatta and Bartica, and in turn Barticians always support the
That's
tongue
it.
week
I know the
in
second part.
Linden.
But I know the
Right?
nature of Linden
No.
nurse to be big hearted. I know
No.
that.
So Barticians always support it. Persons actually go through and they go through the road and they take the Shurima crossing over and drive through from there to Linden, and persons take that
And they're
route
always
a lot.
welcome. Always welcome.
Barticians are very hospitable people.
Always welcome.
I mean,
That being said, folks, Linden Tongue Week comes up on the 23rd of April. We commend that activity to you. Get out and, we out here now, but just let's be responsible.
Most definitely be responsible. Make sure that you do everything necessary to safeguard yourself. But when we're talking about Linden also, Omai has commenced drilling for gold at Blueberry Hill site in Linden. So, that's
Money got make.
different level there altogether. So
Money got to make.
I'm looking at that headline, and all I'm thinking about is EPA and guidelines and regulations. And because a lot of times when in the haste to actually make money, a lot of these things are foregone. We've been discussing it a whole lot. So the persons in Linden need to be very vigilant. As this go forward, but obviously we commend any act that is going to be progressive and benefit the people of Linden. So,
that's the important thing.
But I'm going to be looking at this a whole lot more to see if I can tie in how Linden is going to benefit directly from this particular activity with Omai commencing drilling at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah. And then here we have our person of interest.
Oh my goodness!
Our person of interest. One of our favorite points in this program is our person of interest, and this morning we got somebody who's fantastic, fantastically fantastic, bigly.
So the name this morning, and I'm going to get it correctly here, our person of interest, guys. I think the guys are running away with another headline this morning. And so we see LaShawn Berkeley here is our person of interest, 22-year-old. What, my goodness, the youngest female captain to be commissioned in Guyana within the last decade.
Respect and manners. Respect and
manners. I am so proud of this young lady.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this: the St. Stanislaus College alumni began flight school in 2014 at Air Service Limited, and later completed her studies at Dean International in Miami, Florida, before joining Roraima Airways team. So there you have it, folks, our person of interest. Congratulations to you. You are repping women in Guyana proud. And what a month for this to be announced. March, we are just out of International Women's Day. We're still in the month of March, and here we continue to celebrate the accomplishments of women. This absolutely phenomenal young lady, 22 years old.
Yeah. That being said, captain. I don't want to pretend I didn't see Sandra Jones just says Cheryl looks very hot today. I don't want to.
Okay, I don't want to. Oh my God! Let me see this comment. Listen.
I don't want to pretend I didn't see that. Oh, respect Amanda Sandra Jones. You got good eyes, girl. You got good eyes. You got good eyes.
I need glasses, folks. I need
good
glasses.
Eyes. Good eyes. They won't let Lyndon be great this year. They won't let Lyndon be great one day. Sandra, you come through today. How much you know?
What does Sandra say?
I look hot today. Is hot or it's hot?
You look like he's sweating.
She said, I look hot, stop it. But respect and manners to this young lady. She has applied herself, and our young people, those of you who are watching us, you can be anything you want to be. Put your
Yes,
mind to it.
most
There's
definitely.
some way in which you mightn't be on that path right now for whatever reason, but there's some way you can bring yourself on that path. You mightn't got the qualifications in some instances to get into a program, but it's something you can do to move a step closer and a step closer. Be all that you can be. Be all that you can be. Really and truly.
But when it comes to qualifications, on that note, a lot of persons that are out there investing in themselves and so forth did not have that initial bit of qualifications, especially persons that miss seats. I think is the end of their lives, basically. But it's not. When you're at our age, you realize that you were just a little baby back then, and you had all the time in the world to get up and just get things done.
But I dare say 30 is a great time. I dare say when you're our age, 30 is a great time. That being said,
you're as old as
respect to this young lady, LaShawn Barkley. Right? But while we're at the big issue, we can talk about what he said. That segment of our program, since the guys really wanted to touch on that, and they were being very rude and going through to the big issue while we were on person of interest. But that being said, what he said, Young Mahadio had some comments about the natural resources fund, we thought was quite interesting.
Most definitely, Yog Mahadio, he says, what he says, and what he was saying is that my question is, how can you plan to spend the monies without the planning and management team? Then it will leave questions about the system of control, management, and accountability of the Natural Resource Fund. As it stands, no one knows what the monies will be spent on, and this is what he is saying right now, and
what he said.
What he is saying right now, and you say it over and over, that it's nice to have these independent voices coming out and speaking to these matters, because this is something that we have been preaching about.
Amen.
Every single day.
Amen.
Every single day.
And since the budget was passed early February,
yes,
we said here, if the budget is spending all this oil money already, then what is the use of the Natural Resource Fund? Because the fund supposed to approve the projects, one, and then approve the spending. And up until that time, the Natural Resource Fund board wasn't even constituted as yet. And the money was already spent out by the government. So what is the purpose of the board?
And on that note, I want to remind persons of that same process that we were going through, the budget process altogether. Every single minister stood up there to answer questions as to their allocations for their ministries. And when asked if this project will be spending any of the revenue, they said they all directed that particular question to the Minister of Finance. They said the Minister of Finance is the one that needed to answer the question as to what projects will be spent where. But lo and behold, when the Minister of Finance was on the floor and the question was put to him, he did not, he basically said that we will never know. That's what he said. He said the money will be put into the consolidated fund and mixed with all the other resources, and then monies will be extracted from that fund to spend on the different projects being identified in the budget altogether. So this is what Yoga is picking up on. He said, we don't know. Right as it stands, we don't know, but we will never know. And that was made clear by saying the process is just to withdraw the money out of the fund there, put it in the consolidated fund, mix it with the other revenues there, and we will never know what money.
We can carry these guys to court, maybe.
I
maybe as a show, we're going to file injunction, because I think the legislation says you have to, there's a whole committee set up by the NRF that is supposed to be set up by the NRF to look at projects, right, that these monies are going to be spent on, and then it has to be approved by the board. The spending, the committee is not in place, the board is not in place. You might have, I think we have persons nominated to the board, but the board is not operational. But yet, all the money has been spent out.
I'm trying to read Carl Miller comment, sure, if you can assist.
Life goes out. Carl Miller says the PVP is governing Guyana like a kamikaze way. Yeah. Suicidal way. Yep. We know what the kamikazes were. I tend to agree with you.
But that is what is going on.
So that is what Yak said.
And again, I'm going to say it. I'm going to start saying this over and over. When things are being picked up in the print press, I dare say that when it's being picked up after we've been preaching about it, we're glad that persons are actually catching up with what we've been saying for a very, very long time now. So way to go, Yog.
Yep.
Continue to speak out. Continue to interrogate.
Talk the things. Talk the things. That being said, you got the big issue today. Houston, we have a problem. We got a problem.
Several problems.
Got a problem.
We have problems, people. Living in Guyana right now, we have problems all over.
We are beset and besieged by problems. And you could just
I think the photo says it all.
We are beset and besieged, surrounded by problems. We're going under, folks. We're going under.
We can actually look at, when we're talking about the issues that we have right now, we can actually go through it. We see the quarantine. We have a taxi driver protesting. They need more money because of the hike in the fuel prices, right? They're saying that. That's the complaint. We're having calls being made for subsidizing of flour. We're seeing the Blackbush rice farmers speaking out. We're seeing the persons in Essequibo protesting also when it comes to the low cost of paddy. All of those things being discussed right now. Absolutely no one coming from the administration to say this is the way in which we're going to be handling it, and this is the policy that we're going to put in place to handle it. What was actually said, I think there was a video that I saw circulating with regards to rice and the fact that the rice, those persons are rice farmers are out there protesting. I noted that video circulating in which none other than Zulfikar Mustafa is out there speaking to the rice farmers and trying to divert and so to put blame over, and what they basically try to say what was done before and what systems they found and all of that. And I dare say, Sherry, I found it fascinating that when all of these things are said, the very fact that the figures, the best ever production when it comes to rice was actually under the APN UALC. But of course, Mustafa is not going to even say that. And I can even quote a part that I mentioned in my, I can even quote a part. I think the guys are showing me some signs and signals right now, if you can.
Yep. We have
we have the Winston Jordan. Good morning to you, Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan joining us this morning. Mr. Jordan needs to join us on set this year right here. I told you it's for you. But Mr. Jordan is saying, good morning, FYI. PAN, he said the 2021 Act doesn't give the Board of Governors power to determine nor approve the projects to utilize the NRF fund, nor is the board responsible for approving amount to withdraw from the fund. That is cast in stone in the apex in the act. Real question is, what really is the board meant to do? So basically, Mr. Jordan is saying this board is set up just to say that they have a board. The board is not set up.
No real functions and powers.
No real functions and powers. But when we even interrogate, we're going back to that a little bit, and thank you, dear Mr. Jordan, for coming in with that. But when the question that's were being asked is, how do you then audit the projects if you don't know what these projects are altogether?
And that is the very point we're making in the big issue. Houston, we have a problem. Simply means that we got a problem. The government is fighting a war on all fronts. You got the Natural Resource Fund. That is in chaos and confusion. Nobody knows what it is meant to do. Hence, Mr. Jordan's intervention there.
Absolutely,
right?
No one knows.
You have the quarantine taxi drivers. Again, the economy, right, is in free fall. They want more out of it. The Blackbush polar rice farmers, they're protesting. They are not getting a fair shake out of what is happening nationally. They said the millers getting 70,000 a bag for a ton for paddy. They're only getting 65. No sooner as that being done, in Essequibo, those farmers say, well, we only getting 50,000. We want more, 50,000 per ton for paddy. We want more. And then you got Pomeroon. There's a flooding issue in Pomeroon right now, right? And then you got some issues with the Venezuelans who are here as refugees, and we don't seem to know what to do with them on all fronts. But yet we heard Irfan Ali yesterday saying, we have a strategic plan as a government and so on. But it doesn't feel that way. When you look at the issues that beset this administration, and these are just a couple, Houston, we have a problem.
But saying that you have a strategic plan, and this is a point that we've been making every single day, they say the right things and come back with no policy. I even made a point a little earlier when the Ministry of Education is saying that, speak to your doctors and so about children online conditions. This is an example, folks. And there's no policy measure in place to actually deal with issues that will be arisen out of that whole process.
Yeah.
Right? There's
Yeah.
no policy issue. And that is what we're saying about all of these matters. If persons are out there, they're complaining, they're saying that this is what is going on the ground, this is how it's affecting us, and they are asking for intervention. And at no point in time that intervention is being given. That's
Yeah.
where we are.
Do we have the Ali video? We had the head of state yesterday was at a function, and he was talking about having a plan. And again, he's not going to be responding to critics and all that kind of stuff.
I see Maxine is giving you a comment there.
But it's insightful.
I think you're going to like the comment.
Right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Maxine. Right? But I think we have that video. And we have it or not. I don't know what all the signals mean. But guys, this is what Irfan said just yesterday.
So we're getting some signal that guys is going to be pulling up that video quite soon.
Why you don't spend more
quite
time
soon as
responding
we
to some of these things?
Are they ready?
People cussing you all day. Why you don't respond to them? I don't have time. There is too much on the plate. There is too much positive things going on. Don't waste my time. Let us. This is not about me. If you feel I'm a fool, I'm a fool. But one thing I have clarity on, that this government has a vision that is clear and strategic in moving this country forward for all the people of Guyana.
So that is what Irfan said yesterday, and even that event they were at.
I'm still at
right. It's still you're still there.
I am distracted.
It's interesting because again, here is this event happening on the East Coast. They're opening a little well there, and you would think it's a state visit. When you look at it, the deputy director of NCN is dragged out. You're getting a drone shot with the convoy, Irfan convoy coming in, and it's like somebody sat down in the PR room and said, you know what, them boys beating me with PR here, we gotta get out there, right? Drone shots, and you hear Michelle Abrams saying, and now we see the presidential convoy is making its way into the. It's a world opening,
Listen,
it's a world opening.
Listen, the trip to the
it's
world,
madness.
the convoy, the expense to just take those persons probably outweigh the cost of the actual well. They could have had two wells if they had just given
drone shots with the convoy coming in and all. And when all that is happening, mind you, the president had just left lunch. He's having lunch with the vice president. And all this that we outlined here is in one day. You got the taxi drivers in quarantine protesting the administration. You got the Blackbush polarized farmers protesting the administration. The Essequibo rice farmers protesting the administration. The flooding in the Pomeroon, the Warraws in Mabaruma. All of this, and it's just a couple. And then we got this stuff we spoke about with COVID. There's no plan with how are we going to get these children back to school safe. Y'all wanted them back in school. You all lifted the COVID policies, regulations, so on. Now you're wondering now, how are we going to make them comply in some way, in some sensible way, with what is left, the remnants perhaps of COVID. So it's a war on every front. And then we got the NRF. What is the NRF? What is it meant to do? What is the purpose of it? Might as well we just scrap the whole thing and said, people just spend the money.
What? It's the haphazard nature in which things are being done.
We got a problem.
The haphazard nature, and it's being done like that. This is not being done like that just because of incompetence. It's being done like that willfully, because when you do things like that,
the president just say he's a fool.
That's what I'm.
Just say he's a fool. Just.
It's not just because of the incompetence, right? Yes, we know of the incompetence. We speak about it so many times with persons being placed to do things that they have absolutely no knowledge of, the experts being removed altogether, and political hacks being put in positions to manage things that they have no knowledge of altogether. I speak about that. I'm terribly against it. But it's not just the incompetence. I am pretty certain that a lot of these things that are being done willfully, because if it is done in a certain way, then persons can get away with murder, so to speak, and that is how it's being done. Yes, they know that this way is all confusing and out there, and persons may not be able to follow anything that is going on, but that is the intent. The intent is for persons not to be able to follow
So you're saying there's
what is going on.
method to the madness.
I'm saying
Well,
it's just evil, disruptive. It is completely dictatorial manners in which things are being done altogether.
That being said, another takeaway from this engagement by Irfan Ali yesterday, aside from the drones and the convoy coming in a little while the opening of the East Coast, and it's a huge political speech, like it's a State of the Union address he's given almost. But what struck me again is, why is Irfan always so angry? If you claim you have a vision and policies now, and you're talking to your critics and you get tired of the critics, why are you so angry all the time?
Listen,
what's happening there? We need like a psychologist to break that down for us. Always in anger mode. Always. Do we have that one from the last press conference?
well,
The very last press conference. And you will see, always in this angry mood. You were saying to us, you know what is happening. You have your hands on the pulse of this country. Everything is going in the right direction. But yet you're so angry all the time. What is that about?
Well, I haven't done psychology, but I think my little bit of reading on psychology would say that's a defense mechanism that is put up, and the defense mechanism. The defense mechanism is put up simply because there are persons out there speaking out.
Yeah.
So when you go up there and you know that you're about to tell people BS, what you do is that you have this attitude about you because you know that what you're about to say doesn't make sense. So you put out this defense mechanism even prior to try to say, person, yes, I know what I'm about to tell you doesn't make sense to you, but you shouldn't critique it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're seeing going on all the time.
All we got is anger and venom.
If persons had actual quality policies in place that benefit ordinary Guyanese, then they will be happy to go out there and speak to those people and say, this is how it is, in a more explanatory tone and nature altogether. This is how you can go about
but I can understand
you and all of that.
Because he's saying one thing, we know what's happening, and we got the country moving in the right direction. He is angry, but when you see the list of things, it's just in one day we've rattled off. We can understand why he's angry all the time, just all the time angry. You whether it's the journalist Svetlana Marshall, he was engaging on the issue the other day, or he just came back from outing in Belize where he got some fairly decent press. He just come back and he's angry. If they don't like the thing, left it. Here is that footage. Last press conference quite recently.
The direction that the country is going. This is not only about the president and the government. We want to build one Guyana. All of us must be clear on the vision. We must all understand the vision. Yes, I welcome criticism. Be critical, but do so constructively.
Mm-hmm. That's how he starts this morning. Gonna start him on with some prayers, some gospel, some bhajan, some other religious music, and just he's down. Blood pressure must be sky high.
You know why? You know what is most disturbing to the entire administration of the PPP is the fact that the critics that they're so referring to, and the naysayers as they're so referring to those people are coming from their base, right? Those people are coming from their base. Those are the people that they thought that they would have gone in there and do whatever to, and they would have stayed quiet and say nothing about it. But when those people, and I say technology is so integrated, and those persons now are going and they're checking and they're seeing what is going on, when those people see that there is a very tiny section of this society that is benefiting from all the resources that we have today, and they're not benefiting, those persons decide that they're going to speak out. And what you're seeing there is a reaction to them saying, how dare you speak out against us. And that is something that is going to anger. They're used to persons speaking out against them that they don't regard as their base. They're used to that. It doesn't bother them, but it's when their own people come out and say, this is nonsense and enough is enough. And they're demanding more. That is what is having them in that type of panic and fit and rage
anger
altogether.
And anger. And you say, calm down, Mr. President. Calm down. You got the whole shebang. You wanted it and you got it. Why you so angry? Right? You wanted it. You got the whole thing. Now you're vexed. But the folks will continue to speak out as the taxi drivers there in Burbs was doing just yesterday. They were speaking out. Here's that.
Facing a serious problem with spare parts. We used to buy a pair steering for 5,000, you got to 10,500. And that happened just recently. Knuckle, we just buy for 10,000, that got 25,000 per pair. It's very expensive right now, and we can't cope with that. And then the gasoline gone too far, the 6 per litre now.
And the gas is going up every day. Every time you go to the gas station, you see a different price on the pump. Even to the island filter for the maintenance of the car is going up right now. Even to the tires going up right now. Even to the parts is going up right now. And as a hire car driver, we have family to feed. And this is what we depend on.
And we need these people who are in charge of tourism, who supposed to support us. We cannot afford to eat, much less for the prices of the gasoline and fuel oil.
Yep. The people are speaking out.
And what is the policy measure being announced to deal with the price of the increasing price of oil right now? What is it? Absolutely nothing. No comments on that whatsoever from the administration. That is what the people are going to, and I dare say that the areas that these comments and these protests are coming from, it's their strongholds. I am not going to try to pet it up and nice it up. That is the fact, and that is what have them in that state of anger.
Which means that people across the country, because clearly they're not interested in bringing relief to anybody who didn't vote for them. And we've seen that in all their policies.
Definitely.
So when their own strongholds, people who, those villages rather, that has traditionally voted PVC, are feeling the pinch and speaking out like this, you can tell what's happening in the rest of the country.
Correct.
You can tell. So you have an angry president and lots of problems that are getting no leadership. So you have him saying in just words, we got a plan, we got strategy, but you don't see any strategy. You said no policy in how you're getting the oil price down. Correct. No policy how you're getting the paddy price the way the farmers want it. No policy. Right? And as the farmers were out there in Essequibo yesterday, right, you had Minister Damaral was in the Pomeroon, and somebody told him, go and try to appease the farmers there in Essequibo. Go down there and you talk to them. Yep. You can do it. You're charismatic. You're very charismatic. And folks, he went down there, but it wasn't a nice reception at all. It was not. But again, it goes to the very fact that they got so many battles. It's a government besieged.
Correct.
Right? And all of it is they're doing because we come back to incompetence. The president said, if you think I's a fool, I's a fool. That's a trick question.
And Naomi Drucker is saying it. She said, I tell you, all PPP diehard supporters suffering just like we. And she's absolutely correct.
Yeah,
she is correct.
All we need.
And we've been trying to tell people, and there must be something, there must be the straw at some point that breaks the camel's back. That must happen because it's only so much a family can take, a mother and father, regardless of what base you are in and where persons perceive that you support and all of that. When it comes to bread and butter matters, this is across the board. A person needs to wake up and realize that these matters are policy matters altogether.
And the fact is, people are hurting economically in this country. Yep. And whether you got a plan, don't mean people satisfied. When you're going home to a hungry children, a hungry family, you can stand holding top, but you got a strategy, you got a plan. That don't fold people belly.
Yep.
As long as that isn't being made real, right? That don't satisfy nobody. So you could stand and talk from the outside negative. Your plan is to go down by OMG and eat off of taxpayers' money. Unfortunately, the rest of us can't do that.
Go with a convoy to open the well.
Right, and we ain't talk as yet about the U.S. Embassy saying to its staff, stay away from Saybrook Market, stay away from Border Market because the criminals are out. I saw former Mayor of Linden made a post quite recently about a young man, him coming to the aid of a young man who was being robbed right in the city. Right in the city. So while the president and the vice president got a whole convoy and security people, they could buy out OMG for the whole day to eat lavishly. People are hurting economically in this country. People are hurting. And if the rice farmers hurting, right? Rice farmers are, imagine the ordinary man, imagine the public servants. The hurt, economically, people are hurting, and I believe we're just at that tipping point. And this is part of what happened yesterday in Esikebo. Here you have these rice farmers. They want no pian bali to deal with. They want solutions. They want photo up. They want a solution. So Minister Dharmlal is down there giving out some hampers because we told you guys a part of the palm oil is flooded. Correct. So they're doing their political work, right? Other people in this country flood out, you know. Other people are hurting economically, but they ain't getting hampers 24/7. But in some other areas, as soon as you sneeze, hamper land at your door. So they're doing their political work in the Pomeroon. Here, the rice farmers are protesting in Esikebo, and then Dharmlal shows up because he is Mr. Charisma. He got the answers. Yep. And listen to the engagement with the protesters, the rice farmers, and Minister Dharmlal.
And then when you have a sort of $400 back to body, fuel gun. What's your board inside here? What's your board inside here? Them bringing the fourth class in low cost since the crop before and they sell on double now. And you have to me when we go by bring the Mawa deal with race. They bring the local government, Mawa respond to local government. That is a trick. If you know Dharmlal, you can know my life. Every time to Dharmlal, you're wasting time. Then they bring the agriculture man. You can't get up right. Then they bring the agriculture man. You can't get the show man. Dharmlal is a dildo man. He has nothing to do with race. Bring the agriculture man. You know about Dharmlal? Then you know what I only like Dharmlal. It's the same thing. Tell the people in America, tell you to apologize to the woman. You still not do that. There was a man who was talking to. The cost of production in Esikebo or any part of right.
And that, folks, is why they're angry. They're angry because they're going to areas that they perceive to be their base, because that's the only area they go to when trouble happens. And they go in there, and the persons are saying they don't even want to hear from them. The man literally said, if you hear, when you hear about Dharmlala's lies, that's what he said.
Yep. It's lies. Minister of lies, Minister Dildo.
Literally said that because persons are engaged, they are looking on, they're seeing what is going on, and there you have it. They have made their assessment, and they're saying that this man is a waste of time, basically.
Yeah. You know, somebody sat down with the PPP and they said to them, you're failing.
Yes.
And one of the major areas you're failing is with PR. Y'all got everything. Y'all got critics, you got NCN, you got DPI, you got so many, you got newsroom and iNews and all that, but you're all failing with PR. And so you saw a broad push yesterday, a little well opening on the East Coast. And the people covering the opening is like 600 people covering it. Drones flying overhead, talking about the convoy coming in. You got the deputy CEO from behind her desk giving coverage Right? Here is Irfan Ali coming in now. His car is turning in. It's parking. He's stepping out. He's wearing a black shoe and a red tie. It's madness. It's madness. That don't fix the problems with rice. You got to get real policies, right? That goes to the core of the issues. That don't fix the NRF. Drones flying overhead and camera angles and camera shots and smiling, right? And the things we are clapping our hands for is what any caring government should be delivering. When we go, I don't see Biden opening wells. It's a natural part of governance.
But when that's a point, when
one little well opening,
when the government could look at that as such a biggest budget ever, $552.9 billion, and the president and the entire convoy have to go for the opening well.
Let the convoy go to Essequibo, meet with the rice farmers. Let the convoy go to Region 6 and meet with the taxi drivers. Meet with the rice farmers also in Region 6. Go up to Blairmont. Meet with those guys who want the money that is owed to them, the sugar workers. Right? People are hurting in this country. And it's not only those places. It is not only those places. Go up to the call center. Y'all claim you're opening Linden quite recently. And it's trouble in paradise at the call center. Lots of people hurting. Talk to the public servants. Carry some of them out to lunch by OMG. Right? Carry some of them out to lunch there and talk to them and hear the problems. Hear their plight and their concern. And then you can talk about having a strategic vision. All that. That is nonsense.
Correct.
It means nothing.
Correct.
And people are hurting. And put their plastic store over it and say, oh, is the global chain,
supply chain.
The supply chain crisis.
Global supply
right?
chain.
And then if it's not that, it is something else. Oh, it's the war in Ukraine.
Well,
it's never us.
Well, those terminologies, those are just blanket things that they do, blanket reason that they do to basically cover everything. And you will recall, folks out there, that even when there was the exorbitant increase in the price of plants, and I'm just going to use that as an example, comments were made by officials within the government that is a global supply chain affecting the plantain price from Essequibo to Georgetown.
That's up. We got some real problems, unfortunately. But we need some real leadership. Real problems needing real leadership. That is where we are. That is where we are. Sadly, and I'm happy that you pointed out so brilliantly. People are standing up, and this in a long time.
Yeah.
This and a long, and that is what is frustrating them.
Yep.
That you said it. You go to places that traditionally vote PPC, and people are saying, "We don't want to see y'all. What y'all are doing?
Correct.
Y'all doing nonsense. None of y'all don't care. Nonsense y'all are doing. That's what you have happening." Yep. Unfortunately.
And this is what they will continue to deal with because we're not stepping back. This is one of the aspects that comes with development of a nation. And the prior administration, the APNUFC administration, put a lot of work into making sure that when it comes to technological use of the country, a lot of effort was put in that direction. And I dare say that today they are feeling the squeeze because everyone is out there, they are speaking. And for the folks that have not, people living in Region 7 are quite aware of what is going on in Region 10 and throughout the country by just waking up in the morning. Because I thought that's what Parsons would have said this morning. The first thing you do when you get up in the morning is you pick up your phone and you scroll, and persons in Guyana scroll your social media and to see what is going on. So before you could get up out of your bed, you know what is going on throughout the country. And when that is happening and that level of information is being circulating, persons are aware that things are happening, people are benefiting, and the majority of the people, the ordinary Guyanese, the public servants, a whole host of them, they are punishing. They don't have meals to give to their children when the day ends, but there you have it, an entire convoy going out to open a well. All that resources being invested there to open a well when they could have just put the money towards better use.
And you know what? You understand why they have no interest in local government elections.
Yes, my gosh. Well,
you understand why. That's another topic. Join us tomorrow. Share the live stream for us, guys. Smash that emoji button. Share. So all the folks can get the information. Credible and valid. Do that for us.
Make sure that everyone knows what is going on. Just like we just explained, social media is there for us to disseminate information, spread it, share it out. Basically, Do your part in making sure that the nation, the country, the world is aware of the struggles of persons living in Guyana at the moment, and the fact that there is no policy measures that are in place to make sure that the effects of all that is transpiring right now, the poor people are cushioned and the impact will not be as dire as it is being felt right now by them. But guys, that's our program for today.
Yeah.
We encourage you to make sure that you share the live stream, come on board, make sure that you partner with us. Sheridan is going to give you that bit of information.
I am.
As you so do. But make sure that you join us back tomorrow at 8 a.m. And then again, you will be joining Sheridan Duncan this midday at 12 for Below the Belt and at 8 p.m. for In the Ring. But Sheridan is going to now give you a bit of information on how to partner and make sure that you are a part of spreading credible information and that you keep that structure alive and well.
Yep, folks, we want to continue to do more of this, as Judy said. More of these programs, more of Below the Belt, more of In the Ring, guys. And unfortunately, it's a land of many watchers, but we don't run out of water, unfortunately. So we encourage you guys to come on board and to partner with us. We got so many platforms available that you can give to this program. We got the Cash App that's available. It's a dollar symbol, $, In the Ring 592. We use all those platforms. We share them. We are also available via the PayPal and via Zelle. It's one email address, inthering592@gmail.com. One email address, inthering592@gmail.com. We're available on MMG as well. Our MMG number is 627-6963. You are welcome to partner with us there. And then we're available via MoneyGram and via Western Union as well. You need any guidance on any of these, WhatsApp us. 627-6963. That's our number. WhatsApp us there, 627-6963. And we'll be able to tell you how you can come on board and partner with us. Yep. Good to see so many folks joining us, though. Sharon Eastman.
Donna McDonald.
Joyce Van Kutin. We see you. Anne-Marie Roberts.
It's what is it?
Seymour
Seymour
Williams.
Okay.
Yep. Joy Pamela, and I see Donna McDonald again. Yolanda.
You see, I like Joy. Joy said MP on Jurette. You are looking like a schoolgirl. What form are you in? Form 1.
Moving on, Stanborn.
Form 1.
June McDonald.
You see how he's rushing past us?
Clear Alexis, Charlie Richmond. Charlene Juice, attention there too. Melissa McFarlane, we see you. And all the lovely comments. I think she's right. I think she's right. Alexis Thompson, Joyce Van Kutten. Guys, so glad to have all of you here with us this morning.
From the Bronx. Edward is joining us from the Bronx this morning. Edward Gonzalez.
Good to see you, Ingrid King. Good to see you, Alexis Thomas. All you folks, hundreds of you guys, share the broadcast for us. Do us that big favor. Jane Ann McDonald. Glensis Mingo Byrne is here too. Guys, that's our time. Anne-Marie Roberts. That's our program. Thanks to all of you who joined us this morning. Stay safe.
Bye, guys.